Well, this is a late review. There were circumstances, so that couldn't be helped. The Fairy Tale final series, episode 31. We are slowly heading there, as this is an episode that combines fan service with some amount of emotion. Succeeds a little bit, but also not. It's a lot of things that do happen, though, so it's moving along a bit all. First of all, after Brandish has heard what Natsu says, she begins to regrow the tumor that she shrunk inside of him. As Lucia begs her to stop this, Brandish takes off her coat, revealing that, that is just a swimsuit she has. And let me tell you, she looks very fine in that, Brandish, I mean. So Lucy challenges to a fight, and that fight seems to be equal, although it's very vaguely implied that Brandish is holding back, because after all, her Commander T is pretty powerful. But I have to say it's a fight that is pretty strong with fan service, although not that most things is the fact that Lucy switches to her star dresses with different, outfits, and Brandish is still in her swimsuit gear, especially when she kicks away Lucia, so I have to say it's a little fan service. And while it seems that Lucia is actually doing some pretty nice action here, the action is good here, suddenly Damar appears and actually reveals that Brandish is simply holding back. She doesn't really have it in her heart to kill or destroy Lucia. Because if she really wanted to destroy her, she could have increased the size of her heart so it bursted or just shrunk it. And that's actually just how broken Commando T is to anyone. It can control anything, the mass of everything, living to dead. So Damara stops time and slashes Brandish, but she blames Lucia for having changed Brandish's sides and decides to pin her down. Elsewhere, Irene suddenly gets contacted by Seraph to have some final words with Mavis, only for the real Seraph to show itself, as it turns out that Mavis, having been freed from Invel's prison magic, as, we saw last time, she used illusions to actually trick Irene. It's pretty satisfying to see that arrogant woman be pretty tricked. Also, it's worth noting that she has some pretty... Her hands have some pretty long claws. Is that perhaps foreshadowing something? Well, maybe, yeah, it is. Mavis managed to walk away, but gets saved by Mest, so before she gets pursued by Irene. And then suddenly Jeolla reunites with his team, include Levi, who of course in tears kicks him and says that he's a fool and says that you promised to take me back. It's worth noting that people can actually misunderstand how that looks, because now I don't want to be that guy, but let's just say for now I'm going to be that guy. Say the way she is sitting is a pretty, that can really cause a lot of people to question some things, but that's just how broken she was. And, it's supposed to be a little bit more emotional here. But I didn't watch it too many times to feel it. But of course the beautiful music is here. Especially as Sara begins to disappear. Now with Mavis awake and remembering her memories, Sara is also vanishing. And that is a little bit of a bittersweet moment as the souls of Mavis and Sara meet again and once again become one. Friends forever. Because now the team Jeolla has something else to look forward to in the entire Fairy Tale 2. Learning true history about the founders of Fairy Tale, including Sara. Elsewhere, Damar have taken Lucia and Natsu to a place where she is intending to torture them. So she begins to do some sexual torture on Lucia by removing her bra and many things more. She also uses her time powers to... intimidating, saying that she's gonna stab out her eye. But Lucia is remarkably strong here, and I have to say I like it. It really shows the strength of her character. But just as it seems that she is about to be stabbed, something happens, and she awakens and realizes she is not blind. Instead, she sees Damara completely thrashed, even her suit completely burned, and she is saying it's a monster that surpasses God. Elsewhere, then Porcelina, I don't really remember her real name. The healer of Fairytale approaches, have managed to save Brandish after getting to her, and it's during this time moments that she actually reveals that she studied Natsu's so-called tumor and said that it wasn't an ether tumor of overusing magic after all. It was something much more diabolical. And as you all remember, Brandish just recently increased the size of that one. Indeed, the one who stopped Brandish was Natsu himself, or should I say EMD, as Natsu walks away. With burning flames and a deeper voice, he is confronted by Grey. The two friends in these situations, maybe confused enemies, confront each other. So yeah, as I said before, a lot of things happen in this episode. Almost too much to make it really understand what it is, but at least the story is moving along pretty fine. I mean, the fan service fight between Lucia and Brandish, that was very welcoming. And yes, the music once again hit the score. Other than that, though, I'm not really sure how I would react to this episode. Maybe not as high as I before, but again, the best side was the fan service fight. I mean, it wasn't a good fight, it was mostly the fan service. But you can give me your thoughts if you have any.